Hello, 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 and we're live. Welcome, welcome, guys. Let me let Facebook do its thing. And we can get started. Hope everybody's having an amazing, what's today? Thursday? Oh, finally. Thursday was like yesterday. But today feel like Thursday again and don't feel like Friday. So let me let Facebook load as normal, and then we'll get started in a sec. All right. So today we are continuing to talk the moolah, the guap. What other names? Yeah, the moolah, the guap, shmoney, dinero, cheese, bread. All right. Let me just make sure I post it to my page so people know that it's on and popping. All right, so I hope everybody could hear me. If you can hear me, type in the chat, let me know. We are definitely live, and let me know what city and state you're tuning in from. Just like to see who's all out there. Coins, yes, get my coins. What other names is out there for money? Money, cheddar. That's like 90s, right? Cream, cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. What other names is for money? Because that's what we've been talking about all week. So, okay, see in the house, Oklahoma City. Hi, Queen. So if you're just tuning in, I was just kind of opening up with a little fun and asking, what are other names for money? Like I said a few. I said money, coins. We said cheddar, cheese, bread, guap. I'm trying to think of the rap songs. Shmoney. What other names for money is out there? So this week, type in the chat. Let me know. I'm trying to think. Help me out. So far this week, we've been on this topic. As you are, we are entrepreneurs. Whether you're just starting or been out there, there's a certain knowledge and mindset that you have to have when it comes to money. A lot of times people think as entrepreneurs it's all about sales, marketing, and people worry so much about the operations of their business per se, but they don't look at the fundamentals as far as the person who's running the business, personal development, growth, mindset. They don't look at those things. So that's what I'm here for. So just to do my spiel and start, for those who do and do not know me, I'm Lauren L.C. Thriver, the Thriving Entrepreneur. I am the CEO and founder of ThriveAbundantly, and I am helping women entrepreneurs to be able to exceed and grow in their business, to take the leaps and bounds, to avoid burnout, and without sacrificing time with their family, to create the freedom and the income that they want and they deserve. So I do Thrive Abundantly TV weekdays, Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. And I am here to make you go, and gut check you into your business. Sometimes you need someone to kind of shake you. You need someone to kind of move to the point where it does get a little uncomfortable. You know what I mean? One of the things that I had to realize that was very helpful for me when as an entrepreneur, this is why personal growth and development and working on your mindset is so important, because you're not going to get anywhere if you just be what you heard. If you just working at a job, for someone else, then yeah, you could probably get by because you just still get paid your salary or, your commissions or whatever the case may be, and you can go home. But, and, you just get told what you want and or whatever, feel good or whatever about you, and just do your job and that's it. But as an entrepreneur and, wanting to build and grow a business, you got to get uncomfortable. So this is why I said I'm here to gut check you. And if you're very sensitive, I would just tell you, have a good day and go ahead this way. Sorry, I don't mean to kick you out, but this is not, it's just to be totally honest. Because like I said, if you're very defensive and things like that, it's going to be hard. Now, let me reaffirm myself here. I was a very defensive person. I got very sensitive, and it was just because I was at a space of growth and it got uncomfortable. But, it's very important that, you have someone to help push you. And that's where I'm very grateful. I've paid for, coaches and mentors to really grow and help me to get past that. I was ready for growth, although it was uncomfortable. So I'm not saying that if you are that way, that is no hope for you. But if you are not willing to work and grow on that, then you're going to have a hard time as an entrepreneur. It's not to say it's over for you, because I had my ways that I was stuck on, but you got to be at least comfortable in the space and willing to hear things that you may not be ready for in a sense, but you got to hear it. It's like one of those things where it's like, all right, I'm about to do this workout. I know this is going to hurt, but I want a six pack. I want to get fit. I want to lose weight. It's a little pain, no gain. Okay. So over this week, this is part 4 of the Let's Talk Money chat series on ThriveAbundantly TV. And I've talked about different topics from, the difference between linear income and residual income. I believe that was part 1. Part 2 was learning more about residual income and the types of residual income. I think that was part 2, I believe. I think it rolled over. And yesterday, I got a lot of feedback and some emails because I'm really digging deep here where a lot of people need to hear. But I've discussed about money blueprint. And a lot of people are kind of like, what is that? What is money blueprint or whatever? So yesterday, I covered that there's 4 types of money blueprint. And, money blueprint is pretty much something that is ingrained into our subconscious in a way that is determining your financial success or failure. So money blueprint, and this is in other factors, you got, just a blueprint period. Our mind and our subconscious is like I said, a computer, and how it's programmed is how your life becomes. It determines your behavior and things like that. So I dig pretty deep than, an average person that may talk about money, or particular things about business. I go from more of a psychological concept and really kind of deep rooting to what's causing you to behave or do the things you want. Because if you could work on that, then you could thrive on your business. I'm not to say like, I'm this guru and I'm $1,000 a day in your business and, and just show you all these operations and fundamentals when we don't even know how you're programmed and hardwired, because you are the one that has to work your business. You are the one who has to make this money. So how do you feel about money? What is it that you think about money? Do you even feel as though you deserve money? Do you feel as though you deserve the kind of income that you wrote on your paper when you were in this workshop and you said, I want to make $10,000? Do you even feel that you deserve that? Do you believe in that? Why do you think that there's some people who accomplish that like this and some people don't? It's because of their mindset, their money blueprint. It's basically like your mindset. It's like your money mindset. So yesterday I covered the gist of that, but just got so much deeper, I had to roll over and continue talking about it today. So yesterday I covered that there's four types of money blueprints. One was cultural, 2 like cultural, not race. So it's like what type of cultural upbringings that you had around money and people with money, a lot of money or whatever the case may be. What was your beliefs behind that? Household, how was money handled within your household? What type of things that you've seen? What type of habits did you adopt? How was your parents or whoever raised you? Was there fights around money, stuff like that? I also talked about spiritual. Do you have a certain belief that money is dirty or things like that in your spiritual life? Now, spiritual has a difference of religion and things like that, but so I'm not crossing any barriers to say I don't want to step on anyone's toes or religious beliefs about money. That's what you choose and what to do, but I'm just giving you guys the statistics, the stats of and the logistics per se, not stats, but I'm giving you guys the logistics and the science of psychology behind money blueprint and the four types. So it's kind of like, you know, how you have four personality types and temperaments, you have four of those as well as it comes to money. So the third one was spiritual, and the fourth one was gender. So, you know, how is money related around your belief with you being a woman? Like in here in American society, statistically, it shows like women are more passive, so they make less income than men in corporate, you know, corporate America. So sometimes women may take that against them and feel as though there's but so much income that they can really make because of their women. Or men, they are they may feel pressured because, you know, they are looked at the money, so they may feel pressured that they have to make this much money, which sometimes pretty much runs them off the road, you know, their roadmap of success with their money. Now, a lot of this, like I said, I'm talking about as a business owners and entrepreneurs, because in corporate America, you can climb up the corporate ladder and make more money, but there's a cap somewhere, you know, versus when you create and make your own life, your own money, your own income, and build your own business. I don't even want to say the sky's the limit, you know what I mean? Because it can go beyond that, but it's all about your mindset. So that was what I kind of covered over yesterday. So today, I jotted a couple of notes down so I won't forget, because that was why I kind of forgot yesterday. Well, just a few that I like to keep these short and not run fully over time. But I also talked about the three types of influence yesterday on how things are perceived to you, whether, you know, like I said, we're sticking to the topic of money. So as far as where it comes to start programming your mind and conditioning, I said there's three tiers and three types. So the first one was three types of influence per se. So the first one was verbal programming, you know, what type of things were said around money when you were young. So if, you know, let me know. I wrote a couple things down that was pretty much I've heard growing up. And, you know, there's a difference between negative and positive. And I'll share that in a second, and let me know if this is something that you heard or you agree. But like I said, the first influence is verbal programming. The second influence was modeling. How did you see people around, you know, money or rich people or whatever the case may be with you? So the second influence is modeling, and the third one was a specific incident. So to piggyback off of that yesterday and what I shared about that, and, you know, with the three models, the three types of influence in mind, there's a negative and a positive when it comes to money blueprint. So, you know, let me know if, you know, this is how you can be able to determine what is your money blueprint. Because if you become aware and acknowledge and know, that's half of the battle. So, you know, like I said, you can be programmed this way, but you can also reprogram yourself, re-hardwire. I always say we were hardwired to fail at times. So you have to be able to reprogram yourself. So once you're aware and able to acknowledge the specific things that are getting in your way, that's half of the battle, and it's so much easier to go over the hurdle and, you know, take over to control what it is that you work on. And this is for everything, not just money. So, you know, how to change is, you know, as far as setting income goals, you know, the attitudes towards those goals, and affirming your affirmations. So first, let's do a particular exercise. If you're able to write a pen and paper, you can write these things down. But I want to ask you, back to keeping in mind the 3 influences, what type of things did you hear negative, because we're going to talk about negative examples of money blueprint around money. So if this does relate, put some hearts and thumbs up when I say these things, or go ahead and type in the chat, or let me know if this sounds familiar for you. But these are examples of negative examples of money blueprint that is blocking you to be able to have a positive impact and to be able to succeed financially the way you want. So the root of all evil, the rich get rich and the poor get poor. Money don't grow on trees. Would I look like a bank? More money, more problems. Let me know. Those are the few that I kind of was able to get off the top of my head. What is wrong with me today? I'm just kind of like blah, 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 blah. But let me know if that sounds familiar, or like I said, parts or things like that. If this was something that sounds familiar for you, if this was something that you've heard, if you've heard other things that may have negative impact around money, let me know. Type in the chat. Another thing was of negative examples of money is mismanagement of money that you've seen in your household. This is the example of modeling. So I gave you the few of verbal influence. Now I'm giving you the example of modeling. So modeling was rent. Didn't pay the bills, so the lights were off. Going bankruptcy. Now we understand, times are hard and things happen, but like I said, it goes deep down to the fundamentals of what you believe in, because a lot of people tend to, when you know this stuff and you dig into and you really work in a space to change it, then you can open up a gateway to see and learn the difference of what it is that you can improve on, in anything. But like I said, on the factor of money, you can determine on whether when you figure this out, you can be able to leverage, financial success and wealth, or hardships and struggle and poverty. You get what I'm saying? So this is why it's good to identify that. So those are positive examples. I don't see for some reason I can't see the chat, but definitely continue if you want to write any examples of negative examples of money blueprint. So let's talk about the positive, because I'm not here to be pessimistic and talk about that. That's probably why I'm all stuttering and shoulders all slumped. Let's talk about the positive, because when you think and talk about the negative so much, it definitely can zap your energy. So the positive aspects, as far as verbal programming that I talked about, this is the first influence, is being told and shared, you can do anything, you can achieve anything, you can be rich and happy. It's possible to be able to be, financially free. Save your money and invest. Was these things told to you? This stuff was not told to me. So it's like reading on a paper. And it wasn't like it was of a hurt or anything. It just was programming. Like, this is what I'm talking about. It was just programming that it continuously been passed down generation to generation. So is it up to you to be able to identify this and change it? Because you are the key to break this chain. I know I am, and I believe that you are, and this is exactly why I'm sharing this. So other verbal programming of positive money blueprint is save your money. And modeling, examples of modeling is those who, family members or those who you had exposure to saving their money and investing. They're excellent savers. They're financially independent, good money management. You've been able to witness successful self-made business owners and in the family, like I said, in your circle or whatever. You said, Kelly, what do you mean? I hope that's your name, Kelly. I see lovely one, Kelly. You said this was not told to me growing up. As far as the positive, The positive examples, because I agree, it wasn't told to me neither. And like I said, I was told to save my money, but for a rainy day. So that was like a positive with a negative aspect behind it. So it was like some hope, but we didn't know what to do more from that. And like I said, financial education is very important behind that, but you got to dig deep to the blueprint first, as far as what your money blueprint and your mindset, then you can start applying a lot of the things that you've learned in the education. Because I've had exposure where people learn these things, but they didn't know it enough, or they didn't think they were smart enough, or they didn't believe in themselves enough, or they didn't know anyone to do it. So it was like they were scared to invest. I don't mess with banks, things like that. I can't trust that and stuff like that. And honestly, to make it here in society today, that's how you're going to make it. So even saying, being in a space where you don't trust banks and I ain't letting them people touch my money. Those are more examples of negative money blueprint. So you said yes, me on the positive side, and yes, the statement to save for a rainy day. Yes. So I just kind of realized that with you. So like I said, I guess I was like in the middle when it came to breaking it in some points. I mean, I definitely seen some bad exposures to fights and people losing their lives or whatever over money, and that was negative impact for me. But I was starting to become self-aware of it and looked around. I was very a big analyzer. I observe and pay attention on what's particularly going on around me. So I was looking like something ain't right about this. Like, what is going on? Like, why aren't we making it? Why are we struggling? Why am I struggling? Like, and you ever wonder, like, okay, now we're breaking the chains. We go to college and do all this stuff, but especially when you take loans out, we're in debt. I'm just as bad or stuck as my parents who didn't even go. You know what I'm saying? So it was still a negative impact on me. But like I said, I started to become self-aware. Being self-aware and acknowledging and being willing to make the adjustment and the changes is the breaking point. So that's positive examples and negative examples of money blueprint. So the first thing, like I said, in order to start changing this is being aware. So I'll go ahead and go first. Which one was the impact for you? Was it positive or negative? For me, negative for the most part. I had some positives twinkled in here and there, but for me it was negative. So I had to acknowledge it quick because I acknowledge it really about 6 years, I would say a little less than 6 years. So about 5 years ago, I kept wondering, especially when I jumped into entrepreneurship, like, why am I feel like a hamster on a wheel? It was because I had a negative money blueprint. Deep down, even though I was a positive person and stuff like that, like a person can be positive and happy all they want, but some stuff can be so deep rooted, and when you pull up the rugs and everything, and it's nothing but negative things there, you're particularly stuck. So what impact did these particular things, as far as the three influences that I shared, as far as verbal, modeling, and what was the third one? Specific incidents. What type of things did that have on you with your money blueprint? And do you see that coming into your life again? Now, trust me, I know now, I know people who grew up in drug infested neighborhoods, people getting killed over money. They were robbing, stealing for money, in jail, in the streets, you name it. They had nothing but negative impacts as far as that was impacting their money blueprint, and they made it out to have the success, but they had a breakdown. And it was some people who was able to, I had a conversation with a brother, and he didn't even know what this stuff was, you know what I mean? But it was like impacting him in different ways. And you know what immediately started making him, whether he knew what the money blueprint was, he had to change his circle. So he was being affected and able to deep root without even knowing what was being programmed. He was able to make the adjustment and change on his money blueprint by surrounding himself around other people who had a positive money blueprint. Okay. So like I said, I'm not going to talk about all the bad things and things that happen. I'm going to share, how to change that. The first thing I said is determine what you financially want. So this is where it's important for you to write goals. And when you write these goals, acknowledge and pay attention to your attitude towards these goals. Then, like I said, not all the time you're probably going to believe it in the beginning, but you want to affirm it. Once you make the decision and do, then you do. And, time, you can't put, it's good to put a time. I always do that and coach my clients to do that. But just be patient and enjoy the journey of it. You get what I'm saying? That makes sense. So you want to, once you set the goal, be mindful to set a positive attitude towards that goal and believe, or whatever, and then affirm. So by having affirmations. So on my page every morning, I'm putting up affirmations. Today's affirmation was, I am the architect of my life, and I build and create a great one, or great fortune, or something like that. So that was the affirmation for today. So, if you need affirmations to continuously help you, definitely make sure you like the page and kind of tune in so that you can keep updated and use the affirmation. But affirmations is all about what you affirm for your life, because I can say all these things, but if you don't believe it, it doesn't have that much effect. The second thing is, and I need to wrap up quickly, but the second thing is to make a declaration. Declare that you are capable of, making these goals that you particularly that you want. Once you say what you want, okay, and this is what you believe. Like, okay, at one point, I used to say for a long time, I want to make six figures because it sounds good, but I really didn't believe that I could make that at that point, just because of all the things I've had in the past, and I couldn't even imagine what that was. You get what I'm saying? I didn't even know too many people personally that even made that. You get what I'm saying? So I had to dig deeper and get on my blueprint and look at it, because I used to feel like, oh, six figures is a lot of money. You know what I mean? And it's really not. Like, money is energy in a space. You have the desire to say how much and how little that you want. So it was funny because, I was looking at and seeing like the networks of people, and like, people make crazy money. So then the first thing in my mind now, it's not a scary space for me. It's like, well, what are these people doing to earn, $810 million and stuff? So that's the second one as far as make declaration. The third one is to implement habits that promote success. So as far as paying yourself first. So if you still work a job or whatever, make sure that you pay yourself first. And pay yourself first is assigning money. So open up a savings account. You take 10% of your money and put that into a savings account. Then you can use that savings account to start building up something like an emergency fund. Because if anything happens, you lose your job or something, what's going to happen? Where are you going to have money? So start taking 10% of your money and pay yourself first. This is one good example and ways to start implementing and practicing good money habits to be able to start having a positive money blueprint. Put yourself around other people. So that is number 4. Have a role model, a coach, a support group, and something like that. If your husband don't support you, get a support group. But, you have to put yourself in a space and around these people who have positive money blueprint, and where you can be able to reprogram from the 3 influences that I told you, from listening to verbal things that they talk about money, listening and being in a space where money's talked about more positively, modeling where they are, you watching or what they're doing, what type of, are they open up investment groups are they in, and stuff like that. And then also specific incidents. You see them buy a car, you see them, give to this charity, they open up a nonprofit, like, these particular things that you are, like I said, you see, you hear, and you experience. So that was the 4th one. The 5th one is educate. Read. Reading is fundamental. I know that it's so corny, but definitely get yourself in a space where you're educating, reading books, putting yourself around, circles where you're being educated. There's millions of groups out there where you're continuously being educated. I'm particularly in one. We always do, free financial education. I have a Money Mondays financial education call on Monday nights. Just continuously put yourself, read online, get books. Oh, so one of the books that I wanted to talk about today is, I hope you guys can see that. It's Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. And this is Mastering the Inner Game of Wealth. This is where the money blueprint was explained and how it was broken down. And I'm sharing a lot of the key concepts. They give exercises as well as affirmations. So definitely get this book because this is very helpful. So read. And I'm not getting paid or any kind of advertisement or whatever, about that. This is just, definitely giving off, content to help you guys to be able to improve your money blueprint. So that's pretty much it. And then the last one is remain aware and avoid any kind of situation. So I put aware and avoid. So basically stay woke. Okay. So pay attention to the type of people you're surrounding yourselves with. What are they talking about and saying? I'm not saying you got to ditch them and put them to the side, but you got to be very sensitive to that. If you are trying to change and do anything, you got to be mindful of what the people you surround yourself with. So be aware of your involvement. What are you particularly listening to? Like, I listen to rap songs, and some of the stuff that they talk about is so negative. Like I said, that was my song back then, but More Money, More Problems did put by Biggie. It does have a psychological thing of putting more a negative impact on your money blueprint. So for me, I can sing it now because I'm aware of it. So it's just something that you need to be mindful for and aware. Not to say cut out, but just be mindful and keep it at a limit, a very minimum base. So that's pretty much it. Just remember, money blueprint is mindset. If this was helpful for you, you were able to get some great feedback, please share this off with others, other inspired millionaires, other entrepreneurs, other that may be stuck in their money blueprint. I don't care if they just work in a job or they don't have a job and you hear them saying they broke all day. This is something that can be very helpful for them, that they can be able to start making an adjustment and a change. You don't have to stay in chains, but the only thing is you can remain stuck and in place if you don't decide to get out. So I remember, what was the quote that Harriet Tubman said? She said she could have saved hundreds of more slaves if they knew that they were. So it's important to understand and know that you are, because once you do, then you can be able to make the adjustment. So hope this was helpful. Let me read the quotes real quick. Greed kills. The process is amazing. Your brain is a muscle. Train it. Absolutely. So that's it, guys. I went a little longer than usual, but like I said, this was very informative. This was part 2. So if you wanted to dig deep a little bit more, especially on the influence, I discussed that yesterday, and other topics on, as far as talking about money, what you should know as an entrepreneur. Tomorrow, I got some really great information and a free gift for you guys that you can be able to use. And I'm going to discuss that tomorrow because tomorrow is Friday. So I love you guys. Enjoy your Thursday. It's rainy here in New York. I don't know what the weather is like as where you are, but enjoy it for none the least of whatever that is going on. Remember that you are amazing and you have an amazing day. LC Thrive is signing out.